There you have it, that's our creamy Brussels sprout soup. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful soup. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today a creamy Brussels sprouts soup. Let's get on. Now for all those people that don't know how to trim Brussels sprouts, now I shouldn't laugh really. Take off the end, take off a couple of leaves, and we're just slicing it in half. Okay, I know there's a lot of people just learning to cook. So just take off those outer leaves and you've got like a small cabbage in there. Now I've got a couple of bits of garlic and we are just going to give it a mincing. Okay, nice and straightforward. Over there with your knife, you can mince it as small, as large as you want. It's going to get blended so you don't have to go crazy. In there. I've already diced up an onion and we've got some potato. So we just want to dice up some potato. Now the potato is the filler, obviously, inside the soup. There you go. Oven is on. About 180, 190. We're going to take those sprouts, we're going to chuck them in there. We're going to take a drizzle of olive oil on there. A little bit of salt on there, not much, and a little bit of pepper, optional. We're going to give that a mix and we're going to chuck it in the oven. Now we're going to roast these for about 25 minutes to give us that lovely nutty sweet flavour, and then we'll carry on with the soup. So we don't want to try and burn these, and what we'll do is just give them a little turn over in between, and in 25 minutes they'll be nice. That's it, they're in. We've got our veggies prepped. We've got some stock, cream, nutmeg, and we're going to put a little bit of bacon bits over at the end just for show. Now you don't have to do that. You can keep it all veggie, up to you. Okay, we've had about 5 minutes or so in there. We can start the soup off. Grab yourself a pan. Any pan will do, as long as it's wide enough to boil some soup up. Now, I just want to add that, you know, you could actually just do all the sprouts in the pan. But, you know, they're cooking away there as we're going to do some potato and onion. In there, ooh, a little bit of butter. And you could just do it with olive oil, you know, it's up to you. Okay, let's get a flame on. Nice, easy whizzy. In there, onions. Use any onion, white onion, red onion, brown onion, it doesn't matter. A little bit of salt. Bring out the moisture of the onions as it's cooking. Now we're not after browning these, we're after just a little tinge, a little golden. Soften them up, that is it. Sprouts, give them a stir over, put them back in. They're looking beautiful. In there, a little bit of garlic. Cook out the rawness. In there, your potatoes. Give them a nice coating up in that butter. Flame really low for this. We don't have to cook it high at all. We just want to get those onions and garlic cooked off. We're starting the potatoes off. We're going to chuck the sprouts in here, and then we're going to put some stock in. Now, like I say, you could just do this everything in the pan. Cook your sprouts in here with your potatoes, and just boil it for about 25 minutes. This way we're getting rid of the bitterness of the sprouts and we're giving it a little nutty flavour. There you go, we got a lovely little bit of a tinging going on there, look, in there. Just give them a couple of minutes in there, and what we'll do, we'll take a couple of those slightly cooked charred sprouts out, and we'll use them for garnish. So just coat it all up in that buttery goodness, and then in with your stock. What we'll do, we'll put a little bit of salt in there, not much. Hit it up with some pepper. We are making a, so that's in there. And we're going to hit it up with a pinch of nutmeg in there. Chuck in your stock. And do not cover, cook for about 18 to 20, 22 minutes, somewhere around about there. So get it up to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer. Okay, you get it up to boiling, just knock it down to a simmer. Simmer it for about 18, 20 minutes. When you've had about 25 minutes, your potatoes will be soft. They're taking a fork beautifully. Your sprouts will be soft. They're taking a fork beautifully. Right, what we want to do is take out a couple of these small sprouts, if we can, for garnish. So that'll do. We've got a few there, look. Okay, just turn that off. We want to blend it. Bring in a blender, stick blender if you've got one. If not, shove it in a blender, blend it up. That'll do, mate. Don't have to go more than that. That's perfect. Flame back on, really low, and we want our cream in here. In with some cream. And just warm it through. Now you can use milk, not a problem if you don't want to put cream in. Just nice and gently warm it back through. And then we're ready to serve. There we have it, a beautiful creamy Brussels sprout soup. Let's serve it up. In there. Oh, look at that goodness right there. But we want to show a couple of bits of sprout, don't we? It's a sprout soup. I want to go on there with a little bit of bacon topping, because sprouts and bacon, a match made in heaven. However, if you're vegetarian, you ain't putting this on. A little bit of black pepper for me on there. Now this is one of those superb dishes which is open to parmesan, a little bit of parmesan on the top of there. There you have it, that's our creamy Brussels sprout soup. Look at that. Come on, look at that. Forget the garnish, let's just get in here first. That is a beautiful, beautiful soup. Oh, that is delicious. It's not bitter, it's got that slight nutty flavour, you can taste the sprouts. That is sensational. Bit of bacon there, bit of sprout, bit of parmesan. Off the charts. That is absolutely sensational. That is an easy one. That is how to get a bag of sprouts, chuck in some potatoes, onion, garnish it with whatever you like, and you've got a fantastic, fantastic pot of soup there full of goodness. There you go. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make a creamy Brussels sprout soup, and it might change the way they think of Brussels sprouts. If you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and we'll catch you in the next video. Oh yeah.